Big exciting breaking news reported on this channel first overnight as a second stimulus check vote will likely be coming next week, finally, to get you second stimulus checks. I mean, this is insanely great news. It was a night with a lot of big developments and still unfolding this afternoon as everyone is expecting a very big fight next week for your second stimulus checks. Apparently, it's expected to be as big a battle as what unfolded last night. As you know, Mitch McConnell introduced that lobster bill, and apparently there was a very big battle at Red Lobster. Mark Meadows rushed to the scene, pulled a muscle, and once at the scene, everyone was shocked by the dispute. They were calling out Nancy Pelosi, calling her shellfish. And when you got to the scene, it was quite bad last night at Red Lobster. 4 fish were battered. Good afternoon, everybody. This is LALATE with incredible great news on your second stimulus check and stimulus package. As detailed first on this channel, that a bill vote is likely going to happen next week, being called by both Republicans and Democrats to get it done and get it done now. This is details you'll only hear on this channel with incredible breaking news and exclusive details only here on LALATE a week after we broke a world exclusive about a scandal erupting for use of money under CARES Act 1. Boy, congratulations. Your efforts for the Purple Power, now at 260,000 viewers, has really paid off. Part of this community, become part of this community. Go to the front of this channel and subscribe and drop your comments below. I may feature them in today's recording, or tomorrow's recording. I'll be answering some of your 1,921 questions from yesterday's recording shortly. Also, like this video, because this is going to be the best damn video you're going to hear on checks this afternoon. Big exciting details, only detailed exclusively on LALATE across the board overnight, as Republicans and Democrats have really done a number, and that number is not calling for reservations at Red Lobster. It's to get your second stimulus checks done. Let me explain where we are, and I'll be covering this video, the vote first. Then I'll be covering executive order, because a lot of you are still asking it. You're all watching for what's going to happen this afternoon, potentially. And then I'm going to be talking about the economy. You know, the vote is really the big one. A vote on second stimulus package. I'll be going over when and how the vote came to fruition, what will happen with the vote, and what you should expect about routing times and all that as well. Let me get to the incredible details. In the last 24 hours, the turmoil that erupted this week, which I told you were going to get because of your efforts with the Purple Power, worked. After being introduced on Tuesday, the Problem Solvers Bill literally caused an implosion across the board on just not Democrats, but also Republicans. First, the Republicans. What I can now report is that a series of Republicans have gone on the record calling for a Republican vote next week for a stimulus bill that mirrors somewhere around the Problem Solvers, $1.5 trillion. The president himself has said, I will support it and I will sign it into law if this is approved. More about that bill and the stimulus checks at FPUC minutes from now. The president was not even stopping there. The president said, I want my party, the GOP, to get higher. You're too darn low. You're at 1 trillion. I'm at 1.5. I might go even higher. Get up. I've been reporting on this channel very early on, since I moved into this space from EIDL back in about June, that the president is going to settle somewhere between 1.5 and 2. Well, that still appears to be the case today. It's been confirmed by members of his cabinet, and it's been confirmed by news reports. The problem with the Republicans is not the president. The problem is a group of really, and people have asked me who are they, it's just, they're in the witness protection plan at this point. There's a bunch of really bad Republicans out there that don't even want to give you $1. They don't believe in stimulus. They don't want to give any stimulus. And Chuck Grassley, who's a very, very long-time Republican leader in Congress, said, hey, we have a bunch of really pig-assed Republican people who don't want to give a penny to anyone, and we got to do something. And if the president's at 1.5, we may not get approval. Well, the president wants to go above 1.5. So we have that issue. The other issue on the other side is the Democrats. They're clearly now speaking out on the record. And these are the comments they're making. Some are saying, bring the HEROES Act down to 2.2, or 2.3, which is where the Temple of Doom last sat, which is really is now, but put it as a bill at 2.223. Some people are saying, no, don't do that. Those people include the Temple of Doom herself, of course. AOC, who says, let's focus on a pot bill this week instead. I'm not joking. That's literally what she's saying. Just give her a drink and have her just stay in the corner. And then you have other Democrats who have literally gone on the record saying, no, your bill, the HEROES Act, is too ballooned. It's too big. We need to do the Problem Solvers bill. And if you want to put a little bit more in the Problem Solvers bill, then put a little bit more. But we're going to work off the Problem Solvers bill. We're going to start at 1.5. We can go to 1.8. Basically, what they're saying is what I'm telling you as well. 2. They're looking at 2. You want to start at 1.5, go to 2. But we're not going from 3.4 to 2.7 or something crazy like the Temple of Doom wants to do. And they're saying, they've literally said on the record, either this or else. It's just like it's like going to Red Lobster and asking for French fries instead of vegetables. No, we don't serve vegetables. We don't serve French fries here. You want to get fried, you have to have some fish. So that is where the Democrats are very split. Now, as you sit here today, you might be like, that looks like a hot mess express unto itself, LALATE. How do you see this vote appearing? And when would they vote? And what are they going to vote upon? And what's going to happen? Okay, so let me tell you right now. First, all these Republicans and Democrats combined are saying vote right away. We have not done enough. We are going to look like a hot mess express. There's 3 issues at play. The first one is their seats. Oh boy, you can see this coming faster than a supermoon in a San Francisco hair salon. First, seats for stimulus. Your hashtag, our hashtag, Purple Power has worked. Congressional incumbents are literally up for frying in the fish fire. They have said, we're about to lose our seats. And what you've done to us has really set us up to lose, whether it was slamming Pelosi or slamming McConnell. They're saying, this is not going to work. We can't sit back and talk about something we didn't do in May, haven't gotten done, and that you should reelect us for us. People are struggling. They need money. What are you doing? This narrative is not working. You can spin a false narrative. But Harry Potter is not being bought by these by my constituents. So they're saying you have to do a vote on a bill. It has to be a more narrowly tailored bill. It needs to be changed. There's an additional twist to it, which I'm going to reveal right now, that you're only going to hear on this channel, and you're only going to hear in this broadcast. It's the CBO. The CBO is the Congressional Budget Office, which analyzes numbers in the face of current economic situations. And in my heart of hearts, I don't believe the Temple of Doom wants to do a new version of her bill, because then it would undergo CBO review, and the CBO is going to come back and say, this economic item in this bill doesn't make sense. This economic item in the bill doesn't make sense, based upon the current situation of the U.S. economy. It was done, her bill was looked at back in May. It has not been looked at now. And if she revises the bill, it's going to go under mandatory CBO review, and it's absolutely going to get tarred and feathered in the press. Why? Because we know that the $915 billion bailout of states is uncalled for. It's a three-year grant for states that don't need money and things like that. So there's that interesting, really big twist. Here's the other one, and this is the one you're only going to hear on this channel as well, which I detailed on Mornings LALATE. An October 1st deadline. for not stimulus checks, but the stimulus package that would have to have in it airline relief. And then you're like, oh God, those airlines. Yes, airlines, ironically, unless they get a pass, which you really have to hope they don't, by executive order, the airlines under the second stimulus will get the second stimulus done. Why? Because there's an urgency and there's a timeline. And what is that timeline? October 1st. You have to, if you're going to do the airlines under a second stimulus package, you have to do it signed by the president by October 1st, which means they have to start voting on it in the different houses 2 or 3 days earlier in late September. Why is there an October 1st deadline? Because what happened with the airlines is they furloughed employees. And by federal law, a decision about that furlough status is pending and has to be made in the next couple of days. The decision is either hire or fire. They have made it very clear to the White House, and it's not a false pitch, it's really the situation. They don't have the money to hire, or income to hire. They have a lot of money in the bank. They have a lot of liquidity because they got that lined up before. But they don't have enough income to keep them on staff. So it's either hire or fire. And so they told the White House in a lobbyist-scheduled special meeting with Mark Meadows this week with all the CEOs that we need a stimulus package for us done by October 1st or the airline industry will collapse. Guess who came out in support of that? Everyone. Nancy Pelosi, Steve Meadows, and the president. So now suddenly there's an effort to revise everyone's stimulus packages, get airline stuff in there, and get it done by an October 1st deadline, and get it signed into law by October 1st. Suddenly, a thing that has nothing to do with you is getting a rush to get your stimulus checks done. This is insanely strange, but insanely great news, because ultimately you don't care what gets you your second stimulus checks, whether it's a Kentucky duck in the front lawn of Mitch's office dancing around with $12 ice cream in his mouth, or, it's Mark Meadows doing handstands at a San Francisco hair salon. No one really cares so long as you get your second stimulus checks. So how much would the second stimulus checks be? When would you get the second stimulus checks, and how would this work, and what are we teed up for? Let me go over that right now. Before I start, here are the several things you need to understand. So let's focus. 1, please listen to this. We have been lied to before by members of Congress. So the contention that they're saying, the claim that they're saying that there's going to be a vote next week or a few days thereafter is their claim. It is not my claim. They have lied to us before, and they could be lying to us again. Understand that? Let's go to the next one. The next one is when there's a vote on stimulus package, it takes 3 days. 1 day for the House, 1 day for the Senate, and 1 day for the President. Got that? Next one. The day they vote on a bill is not the day you receive a check. This is not the Jetsons. It's not like, hi, vote. Oh, there's a check. I love that. This is not Star Trek, where the check sort of materializes and formulates into your hand as soon as there's a vote. The president signs the bill, and then bam, there's a check with instantly. Like I Dream of Genius, just like that. There's a check. That's not how it works. So please don't drop a comment. Am I getting a check next week in my hand? No, you're not getting a check in your hand next week. It's just, Genie, go back in the bottle. Third, if you got a vote and an approval and a signature by the president, when would you get the check? Well, Steve Mnuchin has represented, and again, Steve Mnuchin has been untruthful before, that it would be 10 days thereafter if you're signed up for SSDI, SSI, Social Security, and railroad benefits, and you get your check by direct deposit. Incredibly great news. If you get your checks by paper check, about a week later. If you do anything with the IRS that's electronic, like your payments for your annual taxes or your refunds is electronic, you would get it by electronic means as well. So this is incredibly great news. Next, let's go over the details of the check and the FPUC. Okay, I know what you're asking. I know what you're thinking. Multiple checks? Well, the Problem Solvers Bill does have multiple checks in it, and everyone is now pushing the Problem Solvers Bill. They are not retroactive checks, so people have been still asking me that question. Are we getting checks back in time? No, that's not what the Problem Solvers Bill says. It says one check now, one stimulus check now, And then another stimulus check in March of next year if the pandemic does not go away, which it's not, and that unemployment has not improved, which it won't. So the check would be now and a check in March. There's no retroactive check. Next, people are dropping the comments, I need a bigger check. There should be a bigger check. I agree. The check should be $2,000, should be $2,500. I agree. There should be multiple checks, March, April, May, and June. I agree. Is it going to happen? No. So, I appreciate your comments, but those are absolutely not going to go because no one in this entire discussion except you and I want that. Your Congress has abandoned you and is not fighting for multiple checks retroactively of amounts more than $1,200. I don't know why. I just don't know why. So what's on the table is the following. $1,200 for single individuals, $2,400 for married couples, a check for dependents, a check for adult dependents, not taken out for child support. That's what's on the table. What is still up for debate is the dependence check. $1,200 or $500. Problem solvers put it at $500. You should be tweeting up a storm asking for $1,200. Now, you can certainly ask for $2,000, but I just don't think this is going to happen. How many people in the household? That seems to be still an issue for battle. 4, 5, it's just all over the place. So if you have a lot of people in your family, that might be one of the things you want to be on social media hitting really hard. This is all incredibly great news. If you've done a non-filer filing, you don't have to do it again. If you haven't done a non-filer filing, do it right away. If you have a child and you're on dependent and if you have never filed tax returns, and you think you have a child that the IRS doesn't know about, or you do file tax returns and you think you also have a child the IRS does not know about because you've never filed anything with with IRS that indicates that child's existence, do a non-filer filing today. There's no harm to doing it. If you've done it before, don't worry about it. There's nothing harmful for doing it. It procures the notion that they know the child is there to pay a check for that child. All right, finally, FPUC. Need to watch the video an hour from now. This is part of our 2-hour programming block every day on LALATE, but I'll be detailing that more in that video. You should expect 450 and 650. All right, so next, executive order. Boy, I still see an executive order. Viewers of this channel still see an executive order. A lot of viewers of this channel think the executive order will come today. Hard to say. I got to tell you, you got to focus with everything. You got to be on social media, sharing this video and tagging Meadows, tagging the president, tagging his chief of staff, getting behind the problem solvers, getting behind the blue dog Democrats, getting behind the New Age Democrats. You need to absolutely be hitting hard. And I really do believe that your tweets to the Temple Doom are working as well. She sees them, and her chief of staff, who I tagged before, hit them, send them your tweets as well. Executive orders, still possible. President has the money for executive orders. President has 33, well, no, he has about 50-something, $500-something million. Sorry, 500 million something. 500, goodness. He has a lot of money. It's one of those days. He has just a buttload of money he can send out. It's unused money, so he can send it out. So I still really do think that executive order by stimulus checks is still possible. Some viewers are asking, am I going to get an executive order stimulus check and a congressional stimulus check? No. Come on now. You know the answer to that. Good try that. Economy. Finally, the economy. Shocking news this week really about where the economy is going. Stock market is expected to crash. Unemployment numbers are better, but not that good. We're still at 800,000 unemployment new claims per week, 23rd, 25th consecutive week. We're not really improving, and there's a concern now that there's a lack of liquidity in the markets. So there's need more than ever for second stimulus right away. Let me get to some of the questions from yesterday, because as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in this video. Diane Plains, I hope they get their records or give them money because they gotta give it. Brenda Reed, they're not for the people, they never have been. Brad Lindsay, these politicians are awful. William, so if the number 2 rep in the Senate won't approve it, even 1.5 trillion, and Pelosi's at 2 trillion, there's no way it'll come out of the Congress. Not true. I don't know who these people are with these false narratives that keep on dropping. That we're in a monarchy and one person can reject it. Clearly, that's not the situation. Lily, we the people really need help right now. Mary Floyd, we're going to vote them both out. Ruth Harris, are they playing around with us or not? No, they're not. Shane, very good information. You should have over 1 million subscribers. We will be heard. Go Purple Power. Amen. Let's bring this channel to 1 million subscribers. Angela, 5 hearts. Brian, Donnelly, when will the passing of Justice Ginsburg mean? I get a lot of comments about that. It is, again, another thing for them to talk about other than stimulus, but don't worry yourself just yet. Leanne, I feel the Dems and the Republicans are playing a game of ping pong, and we're the bill. Big Mama, we're chasing right after the stock market. Oh boy, long comment. The Nitra, I love the way you present it so clearly and greatly. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. We all need to get going. Amanda, what we need to do is find a lawyer and sue them. Leanne Curtis, what about you fly down and you see me? You're the only stimulus I've had in months. Oh wait, did I just say that out loud? Okay. That's why I gotta stay to the end of this video. Barbara, I'm pro-Trump and he's pretty much both sides of the American people, and now Pelosi's against the violence. Thank you for keeping us informed about the stimulus package. You make us smile. I appreciate that as well. If there was a time to subscribe to this channel, it really is now. No one's doing this type of analysis. There is a lot of breaking developments by the minute, by the hour. So I'm here to really get you through this in a way in which it's simple, it's clear, it's upbeat, and it's digestible. So I really appreciate you for tuning in and being part of this community. Go to the front of this channel, subscribe, and drop your comments below. I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Also like this video because this was a darn good video. Coming up next is Hazard Pay. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay at LA for more.